So we're about a week out from, or we're a week after Comic Con at this point, and we got tons of news and announcements over the weekend concerning like DC, Marvel, Star Trek's, all of that sort of stuff. And I'm kind of catching up on videos now, so I thought it'd be fun to kind of do one talking about all of the Crisis and Infinite Earths news we have, or at least what we know about the crossover so far, because we got a lot of, we didn't get any huge piece of news, but we did get a lot of little pieces of news that are starting to kind of help us piece together the crossover and piece together and the stuff that we found out, like, they're just things that are so cool and awesome that they're doing. One thing we found out that was probably the biggest piece of news concerning Crisis on Infinite Earths from over the Comic Con weekend was that Brandon Routh will be playing Superman in the crossover. Will be playing a version of Superman. Now, Brandon Routh has already played Superman in the 2006 Bryan Singer directed movie Superman Returns. Underrated movie in my opinion. Although it had a lot of questionable people involved in it, I think that movie turned out alright, and I think that Brandon Routh was a perfect Superman. Superman Returns, I think, is in the same continuity as the original Christopher Reeves 4 movies, and I guess the Supergirl movie as well from the 80s. I think Brandon Routh channeled the Christopher Reeves, like, cheesiness and campiness and just the warmth so well, and I think that while it was great to see him go on to do things like Scott Pilgrim and Legends of Tomorrow, obviously, as the Atom, I do think that he would have made a perfect Superman if he had stuck around longer. Same like Henry Cavill. I think he's a perfect Superman, and I really hope we get to see him more. It's saying that now we know that Brandon Routh is returning as Superman. I think that that's going to be awesome. He's not playing the Superman Returns version of the character, though. He's playing the version from the Kingdom Come comic book, or at least he's wearing the same costume as the Kingdom Come version of the comic, which is insane. That's a comic book storyline that, like, in terms of comic book storylines, I thought the Arrowverse would adapt. Kingdom Come is the very bottom. I don't think we're going to be getting a Kingdom Come adaptation, but I think they just want to, kind of branch out to so many different versions of DC Comics characters, and with this, that's what they're doing. The Kingdom Come version of Superman is a very old character. He's an old and grizzled superhero, and Kingdom Come is kind of a dark timeline where heroes have gone away, I guess. Like, it's the age of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. They've all kind of gone away. They kind of retired, and there's a new age of heroes, but these new age of heroes are kind of criminals, they're villains, they're psychopaths. They're people who you don't want saving your life. And that's what Kingdom Come is, so it's surprising to me that they would do this, especially since they're using Brandon Routh. Like, if they wanted a Kingdom Come version of Superman, I would have thought they would have gone with an actor who's a little bit more older, a little more grey. So it's very surprising to me they're using him for Kingdom Come Superman. Apparently the reason for this is because the Arrowverse can't use the Superman Returns suit, which is again surprising to me considering that the suit was in Smallville. The very end of Smallville, we didn't see him wear it, they CGI'd it onto Tom Welling, but the suit was definitely there in a couple of scenes because they had it in the Fortress of Solitude and stuff. So I thought that they would have had the suit, that it's accessible to the CW, but I guess not. Tyler Hoechlin will also be returning as Superman. While we didn't necessarily need confirmation on this, considering how last crossover ended, it really felt like they were setting up Superman and Wonder Woman with the marriage, the baby, all that sort of stuff. It's not surprising that he's been announced, but it's good to have that confirmation nonetheless. Even though I assumed he would be returning, there was a little bit of worriness, or I was a little worried that somehow he wouldn't be able to return, which would have really put a damper on the overall crossover, because it's Crisis on Infinite Earths, you need Superman. But yeah, it's good to know he's back. There's actually something I forgot to mention about Kingdom Come Superman, is that there were 2 Supermans in the original Crisis on Infinite Earths comics. Well, there were a bunch of Supermans, but the focus was on Earth 1 Superman and Earth 2 Superman, and Earth 2 Superman was a very old and grizzled hero. They might actually be doing that with Kingdom Come Superman, make him the old and grizzled hero that, in parallel with the Superman we know, which is Tyler Hoechlin's Superman. There's just a little thing that they might do. It's a theory, I guess. And we also know that Lois Lane is returning from Elseworlds. I forget the actress's name. I liked her. I thought she was a good Lois Lane. Definitely not my favorite, but she was good for the limited time we saw of her. And I'm excited to see more of her. I think that she played off Tyler Hoechlin well. It felt like they were, they it felt like they were Clark Kent and Lois Lane. It didn't feel like they were just one of them was talking to a brick wall. They both worked very well with each other, so I'm happy to hear that. John Cryer is also returning as Lex Luthor, which means that we're going to get our first Arrowverse Lex Luthor against Superman sort of thing, which is going to be awesome. And on top of that, Tom Cavanagh is going to be Eobard Thawne in this crossover, which means that we might get that Eobard Thawne versus Superman thing that Eobard said back in Crisis on Earth X. Maybe we'll get that Superman versus Eobard Thawne kind of thing. Maybe Eobard ends up on Earth 38 or something, and the two of them face to face at the start of the crossover, which would be awesome. But that's not all Tom Cavanagh is playing. He's playing Pariah, who is a huge part of the crossover. He's basically the guy who goes around the other Earths, and he stays on the Earth as that Earth is being destroyed. He basically is like the one person who is forced to witness the destruction of every Earth, because he was, in a very loose way, responsible for the Anti-Monitor's creation, and him along with like the Owens and the Guardians and all that sort of stuff. He was there, so his penance is to like witness every Earth being destroyed. And I think Tom Cavanagh is a perfect person to play that, because we haven't seen Pariah in the Arrowverse at all yet. So rather than them bring in somebody who we don't recognize, I think it's really fucking smart to have it be a Harrison Wells. I couldn't think of a better thing for them to do in this version of the event. So I'm really happy with them deciding to do that. It seems like LaMonica Garrett is, or I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he's the guy who plays the Monitor. I think he's also playing the Anti-Monitor, because there was some stuff posted of like concept art of the Anti-Monitor, and it looks like it's LaMonica, which I don't know what I expected. It makes sense it would be the same person, because they are two sides of a coin. It makes perfect sense that he'd play both of them. So I don't know why I expected there to be like a big announcement of an actor playing him, but so I'm fine with that. It makes sense. And we also know that Stephen Amell said that he will be playing different versions of Oliver Queen in the crossover, which I guess means that we'll just see different Earth versions of Oliver Queen, which I expected in Arrow anyway this season, considering that they're going to be multiverse hopping. So it's cool to know that we'll be seeing that sort of stuff. Maybe we'll see, like, I don't know, Earth 3 Oliver Queen. Maybe we'll see the Earth X Oliver Queen again somehow. It'll be cool to see stuff like that. I would like to see different versions of every character, of all the main heroes, to be honest, like Supergirl, Flash, etc. And we also know how the crossover starts. It will start with some Earths being destroyed, which is exactly how the comic book started. The comic started with Earth 3 being destroyed. Pariah was witnessing it, and the crime syndicate are there. They're freaking out. They don't want the Earth to be destroyed, and Pariah is like, I'm so sorry this is happening. It's sort of that. We could see something similar here. If Earth X, it's possible to do it with Earth X. The only problem with this is that all of the Earth X bad guys are dead, or they're at least not around. Like, say, Earth X Oliver Queen, Earth X Supergirl, Earth X, or just normal Reverse Flash. Say they all survived Earth X, Crisis on Earth X, then I would be like, okay, well, the natural way to start this is to have Earth X be the first Earth to be destroyed, and to have us see Earth X Oliver Queen, Earth X Supergirl, and one on Pariah like they're with them. But considering that they're all dead now, I don't know what they do with it. They might still use Earth X and just use random characters. Like, I know, we know that there's an Earth X Black Siren. They could easily be like, oh, there's an Earth X, I don't know, Batwoman, an Earth X Barry Allen. Well, there is an Earth X Barry Allen, but like they could use these characters and use our point of view, their point of view for, I don't know how I'm trying to say this here, but yeah, that, you know what I mean. So yeah, that's kind of all the news on Crisis that we got over the weekend. Some really awesome little pieces in there. Nothing's too big. Nothing's like, oh my god, Batman is in the crossover. Oh, Burt Ward as well, actually, is supposedly playing some kind of role in the crossover. He was Robin in the original Batman 66 TV show, the Adam West one. And he's supposedly in Batwoman in some form, and he's supposedly playing a role in Crisis and everything as well. I don't think this is them tying into Batman 66. I don't think this is them going, oh, by the way, Batman 66 is in the Arrowverse. No, I think this is just them. I don't really know what this is them doing. I think it's just them like having as many DC alumni be in this as possible, but have them play different people. Like, he might just be a one-off cameo appearance that has nothing to do with any character we know of. No word on John Wesley's ship coming back for the Earth 90 Flash, which I'm surprised about. I thought that would have been an announcement they would have done at Comic-Con, especially since he left on very ominous terms in Elseworlds, which kind of, the way he left made it look like, yeah, he was coming back, because I don't think the Monitor killed him. Monitor just, like, it looked like he sent him to a different Earth or something. So I'm not sure about what they're doing with him. Linda Carter is also rumored to come back for the crossover. She's already appeared in the Arrowverse in Supergirl as the President, so it'll be interesting to see what they do with her. She was Wonder Woman in the 1970s TV show, and while it will be awesome to see her do Wonder Woman again, I again think it's going to be something like she's the President on Supergirl's Earth, or she's the President on a different Earth. I don't think they're going to have her appear as Wonder Woman, but it'd be cool if they did that. But yeah, that's all the information we have from Comic-Con about Crisis on Infinite Earths. I hope you enjoyed this video. Say ideas for videos you want me to do on DC or Marvel or Star Trek or Star Wars, please let me know, and I would love to do them. And I hope you have an awesome day. And please like, subscribe, and share and all that.